Hey, what's up guys? It's Big O Notation here. Just gonna be giving you a nice little gameplay of my King Piccolo deck. So that I did a deck profile on a few days ago. Recently I've entered a tournament in which you play the rounds each week. It's hosted by somebody called Rising Phoenix Odyssey, I believe. So shout out to him. Thank you so much for organising the event. Hope I got your name right. And this is the second round of the tournament. I'm against Majin Vegeta, and the twist to the tournament is that each round you have to play a different deck, so you can't play the same deck twice, which I think is really interesting, and it creates a lot of variety and skill within the tournament. So I was bringing out my King Piccolo deck, so this is the first round of that. I'll be probably uploading the games in two separate videos because I accidentally recorded them separately. Also, you may notice this is a YouTube video. That's because I'm recording on OBS and I couldn't figure out how to change the playback speed on OBS. So I've uploaded it to a private YouTube video and I'm now going to re-record over it to give you guys some commentary. And then I can change the playback speed to make it a little bit faster, just so that you don't have to sit through a 30-minute game, and you can still watch the whole thing, because I thought it was really important to give my opinions on the match as they were happening. For the first round of the tournament I was playing the OG Broly with the Demonic Revival field card, and I was against a Vegex player. I managed to win 2-0 against him, which I thought was really good. I was really happy with. Hand Destruction is one of my favourite archetypes, so I just figured it was safer to bring that out the first round. But now I'm going to be playing a couple more fun decks before I get onto the more competitive ones. So here King Piccolo is one of the more fun decks. I apologise in advance, the quality of this video is probably going to be quite poor because I'm effectively recording it twice, and the video will probably come out quite pixelated. I'm sorry, I'm still pretty new to this whole recording stuff. Anyway, I'll just move on to the gameplay. So I'm against Majin Vegeta, which is pretty scary. Originally I thought he'd be killing me like turn 3, but I was mistaken. He's going to be killing me, trying to kill me turn 2 every single game. So he's able to go first here, and we're just doing our mulligans. I'm keeping the Unison because I'm hoping that I can get to turn 2, set up my Unison, set up some defense. Just checking that the recording's going on here. And so I'm hoping that I can set up some defense against him with my Unison with like Wolfang Fist and stuff, and then go into turn 3 and try and kill him. Also, you can see on the side over here, I was trying to cut out the chat, just because to keep it a lot more simple for you guys, so it was just the gameplay, you didn't have to look at the chat or anything. But it turns out that it's only cutting out half of the cards when I hover over them over here, which I apologise about, and it also means that you can't see how much life each person has, which is part of the reason I laid it out over here, my life. So I apologise for that as well. Let me know if you guys would prefer for me to leave in the chat or not, because I'm not actually sure about that. I think it could be a better idea just so you can see the life and everything's clearer. So he's going first, he's charging 1, and he's dropping the Hatchiyak to play down the Babidi. So the thing about Majin Vegeta is that they go through so many cards in a turn. They'll be playing loads of battle cards, going into the Servants, and also the Majin Buu chain, which is terrifying for this deck because you only have 6 life, and you can only awaken at 2 or less life, so you're gonna have to tank a lot of early hits, or otherwise you'll just be leaking out card advantage. So his turn was pretty simple, just playing the Babidi, playing the Majin Quickening, pretty standard for the deck. I went and ahead and charged a piano because I have one in hand. I figured I might as well charge one because he's not gonna I'm only going to need to play one this game, and I can't have multiple out on the board anyway. Energy is going to be a very, very good resource because I'm against an aggro deck, so we're not going to have much energy. So I just go ahead and swing with the leader to take a life and then use piano to draw. In this matchup, I'm not even sure if swinging at the leader is good for me because he'll get a card in hand, he'll get closer to Awakening. He awakens at 5, and the Majin Quicken gets an extra counter. So it just accelerates him going off. But the issue is I wanted to go ahead and awaken turn 2. So I wanted to get my 2 face of life because I thought he'd be killing me turn 3, not turn 2. Let me know if you guys think that swinging at the leader is a misplay here. Also, it does give me a draw off the piano, so that was my main reason. But I think next game I will be swinging at the leader even without the piano, which I think could be a mistake. But I'm not entirely sure, so let me know what you guys think about that. So he taps 1 and gets the Self-Awakener, and this is scary for me because now he can awaken turn 2, and that's what I completely didn't consider this. That was my bad. I didn't even think about Self-Awakeners at this point. So he's just going to swing, take a life, 15k double strike, and then he gets another card under Majin Quickening. So this means that he's going to be swinging loads of double strikes. He's going to be able to awaken, get that extra energy up, and get the Majin Quickening going this turn as well. So I'm just going to take the life. I think the idea for this matchup, and any aggro matchup, is you want to just go down to 2 life. You want to just awaken as soon as possible, because otherwise you're comboing extra cards because you won't be 15k, and that's a big issue. Because you just lose cards. Card advantage and energy are fundamentally just really scarce in aggro matchups because the game is so short. So he's swinging with his leader, another 15k double strike because he uses the auto, so I just take the other 2 life. Now, something that's really good about this matchup, or this game and the next game in particular, was that he was only swinging with double strikes. If he dropped a single striker on me before I could awaken, I would have had to take it and possibly go down to 1 life, which would have been so bad for me, because then he could just pressure and try and full combo in on one of his swings. He would have had so much more pressure if that had happened, but I don't think he had a single strike in hand. A lot of his cards are going to be double strike, especially the cheap ones, that is. So he just goes ahead and awakens here. Luckily he does have a black energy, because he charged one of his Hachiaks, so that meant that he couldn't use his other energy and play a 1 drop down, so he couldn't untap 2. He uses his leader's effect here to take a life, and then that puts the last card under the Majin Quickening. That'll play down with 3 drop and kill my piano. He'll be at 4 life now, I believe. I decided not to use the piano effect because I need the symbol face up in life to use my activate battle on the awakened side of my leader. And then he surprises me, funnily enough, with the fact that he's running the surprise attack freezer in there, and presumably the freezer chain as well, where you use the, I can't remember what star it is, but there's a green parasitic darkness ball that goes up a freezer chain as well. So he swings with his 15k crit. I just go ahead and awaken, draw 3, get some amazing card advantage. Something I do love about this deck is you have really good card economy. You just are able to draw so much, and I figure I might as well use the activate battle because it gets me out of the crit attack and it will get me a free guy on board. Because I'm thinking I'm definitely not going to be able to survive another turn unless he combos his whole hand in I out combo, and then I can drop top it the next turn. But even then, his deck has a lot of draw power. Just from his leader alone, he'll be drawing 2 cards. So I'm thinking that I probably have to kill him next turn, so I'm just trying to get as much on the board as I can right now to threaten the lethal next turn. So he drops the parasitic darkness ball and the freezer, going up into another 4-drop freezer Zeno. This guy has double strike, and I've not seen this card before actually. I thought that there was another freezer Zeno. I think there's 2 that you can go into. But he has double strike and he has a couple of other effects, but it's only when your opponent has 3 or more energy, I think. Or he has an activate main that kills himself to add back a 1-cost green extra card. So he super combos into the attack. That's I believe that's 25 double strike. So I get to go ahead and super combo out and then combo in a tambourine as well, because I combo the tambourine because I already have one in life, and I can play one next turn, and it has unique, so I don't need multiple copies of it. And then off of the super combo, I believe I drew that drum on the far right of my hand, which was a real shame, because if I'd had a drum to put in my life when I swung with my leader, that would have been amazing, because I would have been able to minus 10k something when I brought it out, and to get a barrier blocker. It's just the perfect card to deal with aggro. It offers removal and a blocker in one activate battle of your leader, which is crazy. Oh, what we're doing here is, because he super comboed, he put this Vegeta on the bottom of his deck, and then he was trying to tap one to play the Vegeta from the bottom of his deck, and he's new to untap, I believe, so he didn't know how to find the bottom card, and honestly I don't even know either how you like automatically play the bottom card, so I just let him search for the card because I trusted him. He was a really lovely guy. Shout out to my opponent, actually, like he was a really lovely guy. Had a great time. Even though there was a massive time difference between us, we managed to organise this game really nicely. So he swung and then super comboed to make for a 40k double strike attack. I just went ahead and took it. I knew that I would... I thought that he'd probably have a few more attacks to come. I didn't think about the fact that he had black energy, but I was thinking that he would go up the Majin Buu chain and go into the double strike dual attack. Obviously he can't because he had the black energy, but that's what I was thinking at the time. So I just went ahead and took the double strike swing, and then he full combos in on this Majin Buu attack. I also figured that I had quite a large hand, a lot bigger than his. I think at the time it was like 5 or 6 cards bigger than his, and he'd already used 2 super combos, so there wasn't a huge chance of him having multiple super combos left. So I figured I could probably out-combo whatever he swung with, if he only swung with the Majin Buu. So here he's just full comboed in, trying to take that last life from me, and I'm just comboing out. I'm basically comboing so that I'm comboing all of my 4-drop, 6-drop and 1-drop King Piccolos, because they're going to cost so much energy to get out, and it's not worth it, because I only have 2 energy to play with for effectively the rest of the game, because the game's going to end next turn or the turn after, depending on whether or not I can kill him. So the 4-drop doesn't do much on its own, and the 6-drop I can't play because that would have cost a total of 3 energy. So I draw 1, I charge the 1-drop, I believe. Oh no, I charged the Unison. So the reason for this, I'm just going to pause the video real quick. The reason for this, the reason that I kept 2 in my opener, in my mulligan, was because I thought I'd get to turn 2 pretty safely. I didn't think about the fact that I had 6 life to play with, not 8. So I figured that I could play down my King Piccolo Unison turn 2, and then have a symbol on board because I'd be awakened, and get it up to 4 markers, which would mean that he'd have to use 2 double strike swings to kill it, and I could have Wolfang Fist and stuff, which I had in hand, a Wolfang Fist. That was the idea behind it. I didn't realise that he'd be killing me turn 2. I underestimated the aggression of Majin Vegeta. So I went ahead and charged the King Piccolo. I was originally going to charge the King Piccolo 1-drop, not the Unison, but I figured that I had to kill him this turn, so I needed more combo power. And obviously Unisons don't offer combo power. So I believe I go ahead and tap 2 here just to play my Unison. This is in case he has a counter, like Shocking Death Ball. He can't Dormant Potential me because he doesn't have a Unison, and he doesn't have a green energy open, but in case he has a counter, I can just go ahead and kill off some of his guys. So I use a symbol to get a card underneath my Unison to draw 1 and gain a marker. I draw into a tambourine, so I go ahead and swing at his leader. He's on 4 life, and I know that I have to deal 4 damage this time. Originally I was going to use the leader effect, but I realised that was a misplay. I think that I should have swung with my battle card first, to be honest, because it would have meant that I could have used the activate battle of my leader and then taken the card from life if it was like a super combo when I swung with my leader. So he takes the life, I go ahead and swing with my battle card and then use leader activate battle to combo with tambourine to go up to 20. He's currently on 3 life. He takes another life, which I think is amazing because I have King Piccolo in hand and I have 3 markers on my unison. So King Piccolo comes down and he doesn't have a response, which is amazing. I go ahead and swing. What I should have done here is use the +1 effect of my unison to draw a card. That was a really big mistake of me because drawing the card obviously would have likely given me extra combo power. The reason that at the time that I didn't do it was because I was still thinking maybe I can survive till next turn. It was around this time where I swung that I was like, oh no, I can't survive till next turn because his leader's going to draw 2, this guy will be on the board and I will just die on 1 life. That was a really big misplay on my part, but the reason that I didn't use the +1 was because I was thinking maybe I used the -2 just to try and clear his board and stall out for a little bit more, because I can use the -2 on the tambourine or the 3-drop Piccolo and clear everything 20k or less, so everything except the servant, and the servant won't restand. But the reason I couldn't do that was because his leader would draw 2 off of the activate main to give him double strike if I left him at 2 or more life, and he had overlord effect, so this would become a draw 1 as well. So that would have just been a really bad play, and I should have just drawn a card off the unison. But he says no negate, so I go ahead and full combo in because he's at 2 life and I'm swinging with double strike. So I combo up to 40k double strike. He has a 3rd super combo, which when I saw it, it crushed my spirits. I thought, wow, I've really thrown this game, huh? I should have just drawn a card with the unison effect. And then he taps 1 for a 10k combo as well. And I was like, wow, he's actually managed to combo out. That was really unlucky on my part, but it was my fault at the end of the day. I should have drawn a card. So it was around that time that I realised this and I had this fear sinking in. So I go ahead and just use the unison effect to... Oh, I don't use the unison effect yet. Okay, well I go ahead and swing at him because I figure if he combos out I have a dual attacker with tambourine on board. And then I draw a card off the unison, swing with tambourine. Now tambourine, I didn't realise this, but tambourine actually has conditions to its dual attack. One of which being that you have to have 3 face-up cards in your life, which I didn't. And I read that part and I was like, wow, I've actually thrown the game. But it turns out the other condition is that you have a unison, a red unison with cards underneath him. So luckily, even though I didn't read the card, note to self, read your cards. Note to everyone who's watching this, just read your cards, it helps a lot. So here I'm just saying, yeah, look, I've got a card under my unison, so swing 20k and then combo to 25, and I still had 1 swing left, but he couldn't combo out, so he lost from that because he was only on 1 life. And that was the game. So thank you guys for watching. That was game 1 of round 2 of Rising Phoenix Odyssey's tournament. I'm gonna try and upload the rest of my games from the tournament for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learnt something from my gameplay analysis and commentary. Shout out to my opponent and to Rising Phoenix Odyssey for hosting the event. And I hope you guys stick around for game 2 because that is another intense one. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.